Okay, so you want to write a book, or you're halfway through writing a book, or you've written a book, but you don't know how much to budget for the process. It's a very, very, very common scenario I encounter with the authors I speak with every day. They dive into the process of writing a book and they don't budget effectively so that they have enough money to left over to do the right kind of book launch, to do the right kind of publishing, to get the right kind of design, to do the right kind of marketing. So in this video, I'm going to tell you my 5 principles for book launch budgeting that you can help to build a budget for your own book launch, regardless of where you're at in the process. I've also written a free ebook on the subject that takes everything I'm saying here into much greater detail, including a detailed outline for how much you can expect to pay for every aspect of the book writing process, from editing all the way through to promotion, and your own little book budgeting table. So go check that out, the link in the comments. Also, if you're interested in this video, like, subscribe, or comment. We'd love to hear from you. So without further ado, we're going to dive into my 5 principles of book launch budgeting. So the first one is that you have to budget for every dimension of your book launch, right? I can't tell you how many authors I speak to, and you might be one of them, who come to me, they've already edited their book, they've worked with a developmental editor to work on the overall structure, or maybe a book coach, they've done copy editing, etc. They've spent all this money in their book, and it's time to publish and promote it, and they don't have any money left over, so they start cutting corners. Either they go cheap on design, or they have this beautiful, beautiful book product and no money left over to budget for it. So you need to budget for all dimensions of your launch, from the very beginning all the way to the very end. So it just like if you're making a personal budget for your house, for your household, or you're making a budget for your business, you need to make a budget for your entire book. So that's principle number 1. So principle number 2 is, along the way, publishing a book is expensive. There's no way around that. You're going to have to pay professionals at some point to do some aspect of the process, whether that's marketing, design, or editing, right? So you're going to need to figure out what ways that you can do certain things yourself, right? There are going to be some elements of the process where you feel like, you know what, I can DIY this piece, I don't need to hire for it. So you can save your money for the things that you really can't do. For example, let's say you're writing a book and you're pretty good at social media, right? So maybe you take on doing your own social media platform yourself, and you save your money to put into something like cover design, which is something you have no skill in, right? Vice versa. Let's say you're a good graphic designer and you can take a few courses online about how to do a good book cover design, and you figure out how to do a really good professional looking book cover yourself, and so you're able to spend that money on a promotional effort, etc., etc., etc. So you're gonna need to figure out what to DIY and what you can hire for. And again, in my ebook, I actually go through every single aspect of the book publishing process, the writing, editing, publishing, promotion, everything. And I talk about what are the things that you can DIY on versus what you can't. So take a look at that. The third principle is you need to plan for a marathon, not a sprint, right? The book publishing process, even if you're talking about self-publishing, which is faster than traditional publishing, we're talking years, not months, okay? It's going to take you a long time to write the book, and then to edit the book, and then to design the book, and then to build your platform of readers through different types of promotions and content strategy over time. So you need to plan for your budget that's going to take a long time, as opposed to something that you're going to only need for a short period of time. So that's very, very, very important. All right. And then the last, the fourth principle is you shouldn't expect an immediate payoff, right? I like to think about a book launch is like starting a business, right? Anybody who's ever started a business of any kind knows that it takes a while to start turning a profit. You need to build a customer base. You need to try certain things. You need to figure out what's your niche in the market, right? It's very similar with writing a book. It's going to take you some time to start turning a profit. A lot of people say you need to have 3 books before you can really start earning a return on your investment, because it's going to take you some time to build readers, and once you get someone to like one book, you're going to have them come and buy your other books. Just like in a restaurant, you don't make money on the first customer, you make money when they return again and again to eat your food. So you're going to need to plan to invest some money that you don't need to make back immediately, because you won't, except for the rarest exceptions. And then the last principle that I have of book launch budgeting is you want to save roughly 1/3 of your budget for marketing. Okay, is 1/3 exact? Not necessarily, but it's a principle, right? You want to make sure that you don't spend all your money on the editing and production of your budget. You need to have some money left over to invest and experiment with different types of marketing and promotion. If you do that, then you're going to feel good at the end of the process. You're going to get through this whole thing. You're going to have money in the bank left over to spend on marketing, and you're going to make your investment pay off much, much better. So again, those are my 5 principles of budgeting for your book launch. If you found this helpful, I encourage you to share it, leave a comment. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer it. And then, like I said earlier, please download my full ebook on the subject. It's totally free. All I ask is you give us your email address so I can let you know, and I will not spam you. I just like to share information about different book launching, and book promotion tips that I come up with from time to time. So download that ebook. It has everything you need to know about how to figure out how to build your own budget for a book launch. Thank you very much.